Before getting started this review, I just want to give a big thank you to everyone that's watched my previous short film, Blind Red Wine. I released it on my channel last week, and I loved all the feedback I've gotten from it, and I appreciate all of you watching it, so thank you for that. I also would like to apologize for no lack of videos this past few weeks. So this week I have lost my family cat of 19 years. She passed away this week. It's been pretty hard because I've known her my entire life and she was a part of the family, so it's been very sad, and I appreciate everyone who reached out and said sorry for your loss through social media, but I appreciate all of you for that. I appreciate you guys continue to watch my channel. I appreciate you clicking on this video. Just a lot of appreciation this week from a lot of you, and I hope to continue doing that. But let's talk about some new movies. The Last Voyage of the Demeter stars Corey Hawkins and Liam Cunningham, and is about a crew sailing from Carpathia to England find that they are carrying very dangerous cargo. From the director of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark comes the brand new Dracula tale, which this movie takes a chapter from the original Dracula book of Dracula getting from his castle to England. That's this movie. It's the Voyage of the Demeter, and from that idea alone, I love that. I love that idea. For a movie specifically, that is a great idea, and I love the director from Scary Stories. He did a great job with that movie, and I was intrigued to see where he could go next. With this cast too, this movie had a lot of promise, but there was no one talking about it, so everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be bad, it's August, it's gonna be a bad movie. But I went into this movie saying, I hope it's good, and I walked out saying, that was an entertaining movie. I enjoyed this movie a lot for what it is. A lot of movies nowadays are into times, whatever, and so to see this horror movie be based in the early 1900s, a ship movie all in one location, there's not like a lot of popular actors in this movie, I really enjoyed watching this movie. My biggest praise is the direction and the production design. The director did a very good job creating this atmosphere. This entire one set location on this ship has a great atmosphere of something evil is here with us, and our people are getting picked off one by one, and it does a great job with that. Now, some of the CGI blood was a little umphy. There is some CGI that's but I don't imagine this movie having a big budget, even though it's a Universal DreamWorks movie. But still, with what this production is doing with its set and location, really, really well done. The eerie sound design of the waves, the creaking of the wood, the rat noises. When the rats are gone, there's no more little creaks, whatever. I love that kind of stuff. The director and the sound design, the cinematographer really created an atmosphere in this movie saying, Dracula is on this ship. And again, huge fan of horror movies, and especially the original 1930s Dracula, so I knew going in what this movie was. I was like, yeah, this movie, in that original movie, this segment, this whole movie, it's like 3 minutes in that original movie. Now we have a full 2-hour movie on that. I was really intrigued to see what they could do with this, and for 2 hours, this atmospheric Dracula evil thing on this ship with these characters was enthralling. I never looked at my phone. I was always into the story and see what's gonna happen next to these people. Now, I will say I do kind of wish the movie didn't start with a certain scene, because even though if you know the story, you know what happens to these people and you know what happens to the ship, but the thing is, in this movie, it opens showing the end. And so I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I'd rather the movie start off with these characters and getting onto the ship, which when it gets into that, from that point onward, I was like, I love what they're doing with the pace of this movie. Corey Hawkins and Liam Cunningham are both fantastic in this movie. I think Corey Hawkins is a very underrated actor. His character development in this movie is very well done. I love when he gets on this ship and he's basically like an outsider, and it's not because of his skin color, it's because he's just smarter than all the rest of the crew. I love that. It's about his character, not his face or anything like that. I love that. I love that about this movie. Corey Cunningham, he was perfect as the captain. Perfect, especially what he deals with in the second half of this movie. I love that stuff. And I can't say her name right, and I would love to know, but the girl from the Nightingale, I love her as an actress. She's good in this movie. Her character, though, has information that is never talked about. And I felt like it was like the script was kind of like saying, hey, we're not going to like bring her up, but in a few key points, then she'll start talking. I'm like, why didn't we like learn this information from her right when we found her? Because she's not originally supposed to be on the ship. And then once they find her, there's stuff that she holds back until like later on in the movie. And for the most part, like I said, all the acting's very good. This young kid in this movie was really good. Then we get to Dracula. The actor that did the motion cap or the makeup effect, I can't really tell in certain spots, he did a good job. I wasn't a fan of the Dracula design. I liked his eyes. I didn't like his teeth. I didn't like that he was like a full-on monster, because Dracula is not that specifically. He's a monster, but he's a vampire human, and this movie takes him as a creature in the night, which he is, but you know what I'm saying? This movie treats him as like a singular monster thing. It's like, this is the Dracula character. This is like a rich, enthralling character, and this movie treats it more like a creature in the night. And I wish they could have done a different design. I wish they could have done more with the actual look of him, because he does talk a little bit, and I just I didn't find this Dracula character, or this interpretation of the character, all that well done, in my opinion. I really didn't care for that. I kind of wish they went more into the human look of Dracula. But like I said, I enjoyed the movie. Great soundtrack, great music, great production design, really nice acting, great character development. I was enthralled with this movie, and I wasn't a big fan of the Dracula character, but in the end, my real big issue is this ending. The last 20 minutes, once the final plan is in pursuit, it felt very rushed, and the last 3 minutes, I did not like what they were going with this ending. I wish they went a different route, more of side of the book, really, or the original movie, but in the end, for this movie to come out of nowhere and no one's talking about it, I really enjoyed myself. I'm gonna give The Last Voyage of the Demeter a B-. Now, with all that being said, even though I have been lacking videos these past few weeks and all the information I told you in the very beginning, next weekend, I am extremely busy. Extremely. I won't even be in the state next weekend, so let's hope I can see Blue Beetle and Strays. But if I don't, I'm really sorry, because the week after that, I have to start school, and so we'll see if I can see those movies. I'm gonna try my very best to see them both, but there is no promises, so if you do not see reviews from me in the next 2 weeks, I'm sorry, but life happens, you know. Anyway, guys enjoy this movie review, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.